I'm Brandon Carpenter from BKC Cooks, and today we're smoking a turkey on the Pit Boss Champion barrel smoker. Let's get into it. All right, so obviously we're going to need a turkey. I've got a 12.5-pound turkey. I've been thawing that turkey out in the fridge for about a week. That way we know it's no ice inside of it. It's fully thawed, and we're going to have nice, even cooking. And I'm going to brine that turkey, and so I've got my Pit Boss turkey brine seasoning kit, and it also comes with this great food-safe bucket. So everything you need to brine that turkey is all in this package. And you just put that turkey in there with the brine, keep it cold, and you're in business. I'm also going to be hitting it with a couple rubs from Pit Boss. This is the competition barbecue rub. And I'm also going to hit it with some smoked salt and pepper. So I really want that smoke flavor to shine through. So yeah, we're going to get inside. We're going to pop open this bucket, get this brine going for the turkey. This is going to be a 24-hour brine. So we're going to get this thing going. We're going to brine our turkey. We'll start cooking tomorrow once this thing is all brined up. Let's get inside and get it. All right, let's pop the top on this bucket and see what's inside. Like I said before, this is a food-safe bucket, so you can use this bucket to brine in, and it's reusable. You can use it over and over again. And we can use more of that these days, everything being so disposable. All right, yo, so we got turkey brine kit. All the instructions on the back. And we've also got, a nice big old bag of Apple Blend Pit Boss pellets. So the cool thing about the Champion is I can put these pellets right in the firebox, give me real smoke flavor, and you can just throw those in with your charcoal. You can mix them up with wood chunks. There's so many different ways to do it, but that apple wood flavor is going to be great on that turkey, y'all. All right, we're about to do something that I really don't like doing, and that's reading instructions, but we want to make sure we get this right. So according to the box, we're going to blend the contents of this package, 4 cups of water in a large pot. We're going to bring it to a boil for 5 minutes. You remove it from the heat, let it cool completely. Then we're going to add 1 gallon cold water and refrigerate this until it is extremely cold. And I mean, absolutely cold. Don't want to be putting that bird in hot, warm, or lukewarm water. You want that water to be as cold as possible. Trust me. So then there's a brining bag in here. You're going to line that bucket with the brining bag. We'll put our bird breast side down. And I'll show you all this as I'm doing it, y'all, but I want to give you clear instructions. Then we'll put the brine on top of the bird, close up our bag, lock in our bucket, stick that in the fridge, and again, a 24-hour brine, y'all. So let's get this mixed up in some water, get to boiling. Before you know it, we'll be brining. Let's go. All right, 4 cups of water in the pot. Turkey brine. That looks good, y'all. Like, there's all types of seasonings and flavors, and look, I already know that's going to be good, man. I can already tell, but just by looking at what's inside of there. Yeah, that smells like the holidays. We're going to just mix this together. Now, it may look a little lumpy, not quite just right. That's to be expected. Anytime you're mixing dry stuff like this in water, it's not going to dissolve easily. That's the whole point of boiling it. So we're just going to give us a good mix just to get these lumps, broken up. And then on the stove we go, and we're going to boil this for 5 minutes. While we're waiting on that to boil, let's talk some more about this kit, y'all. Again, this is a nice, good, sturdy bucket. It did come with a brining bag that we'll put right down in there. But it also came with this little package of turkey rub, which I did not realize was in there. So I have an idea for this. I think I'm going to rub this under the skin after I've rinsed the turkey and everything off tomorrow. I think I'm going to rub this under the skin, make sure we get a nice, good bit of flavor right against the meat. And another idea with this bucket is, we got that big bag of pellets. I know for sure I'm not going to use all those pellets smoking this turkey, especially because I'm using the charcoal smoker. But This is a nice tight fitting lid. You can use this as dry pellet storage. It's not like you're going to be having brine sitting in here most of the time. So yeah, it'd be a good idea. Store your pellets in there. You can line it with a plastic bag, snap that lid on there, and then when you do need to brine, your cleanup will be pretty doggone easy. So just an idea, just a tip. I have a few good ones from time to time. Let's check this brine. All right, we've been boiling for 5 minutes. Time to get it off the heat. Add the cold water. All right, y'all, we're off the heat. And again, we're adding a gallon of cold water. I'll add one more of those to make a gallon. And again, we're going to let this sit until it cools completely. You don't want it any warmer than 40 degrees. Now, while we're waiting on that brine to cool, let's get our turkey prepped. All right, we got our bird out of the package. Get this stuff out of the cavity. Got the neck. And there's going to be some assorted giblets in here. Not sure if I'll use those in gravy or anything, but I'm going to definitely reserve those and stick them in the fridge. Along with that neck, too. I'm going to take off this little trussing device. They stuff this plastic thing here in the cavity. Keep the bird trussed for you. And it's not something I cook and leave in the bird. I just don't want plastic cooking with my food. And we especially don't need it because we're about to spatchcock this turkey. So that means we're going to take the spine out. That way it'll lay flat, cook quicker and more evenly. All right, so again, we're going to be going along the backbone of the turkey. You want a nice heavy knife for this. This is a big bird, and I'm going to be cutting through some pretty heavy-duty bones. So you don't want to be messing around with some kind of little small blade. So I'm cutting through here. All right, we're through on that side. It's the same process as when you spatchcocking a chicken. It's just a bigger bird. There's any little loose end stragglers. Cut that stuff off. We'll set this to the side. This will be great for turkey stock. You're making those nice gravies for the holidays. So we've got our cavity there. I'm going to mop up some of this extra liquid so it's not flopping all over the place when I turn this over. And so I like to give this a little. And if you're not confident with your knife skills, don't feel any pressure to do that. But again, this is tougher than a chicken. And again, you want to give it that crack like you always do. And that's it. So now we'll let our brine cool completely. We'll get this brined up, and tomorrow we'll get to smoking. Let's go. All right, we're going to stick this turkey in the fridge to keep it cool. We're also going to stick that brine in the fridge. Brine is about room temperature now, so I'm going to stick it in the fridge to get it down to about 40 degrees. All right, y'all, my brine is all the way cooled down. Got my brining bag. Time to get this bucket set up. Get this bird in here. Got to be a little bit smarter in the bag, though. But no, this is a nice zip bag. And that is super convenient. You don't have to worry about tying it up or anything. And it is tall enough. It's not going to slide down on us. So let's get our bird out of the fridge and get this thing in here. Again, it's important to keep all this stuff cold for safety's sake. That's why you want to let that brine cool all the way down while you put this turkey back in the fridge. That way we don't get anybody sick. So Gonna see if I can ease this down. All right. And it is breast side down. That nice wide bag makes a difference. So we'll come in with our brine. And we're just gonna go straight in. All right, we'll close the bag up, stick the bucket in the fridge. It's as simple as that. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll fire up that Champion barrel smoker and get this thing going. See y'all tomorrow. So it's the next day. I'm pulling the turkey out of the brine. I got to tell you, it looks and smells amazing. So we're going to get it rinsed off, and then we're going to pat it dry with paper towels. We want to get as much of the liquid off of there as we can. Get up under the wings, all the other folds and crevices. This way we stand a chance of developing a nice brown skin. That thing might even crisp up a little bit. So when I finish patting this dry, we'll get it seasoned up. All right, we got the bird patted down dry, or at least dry as we're trying to get. Now I'm going to do that turkey rub that came with the kit. I'm going under the skin. This is going directly in the breast or on the breast meat. That's my plan. We'll see if this old bird cooperates. And no, it doesn't want to. But we won't let that stop us. Get up there, you. Okay. So now, I'm just going to shake that rub up in there. And there's some spots here where I can get it in the leg. And we're going to rub this stuff in. You want to get up in there. Give it a good rub. This little step here is going to add a good amount of flavor to that meat. And you got to remember, it's already brined, but that only goes so far. You still need some seasoning, man. So I'm just kind of like loosening up the meat away from the skin so I can get full coverage here on this breast. All right. I'm happy with that. So that skin really just easily comes apart from the leg as well. Get some of that in there. And as things get to circulating and juicing and trizolating and doing what it does, those flavors are going to move around. So I'll do the other leg and then we'll get started with the rest of the seasoning. All right, for our next part of the seasoning, I'm going to flip this over because I want to finish skin side up. So got a good deal of the carcass exposed here. That makes life easy. So we're going to start with our competition barbecue rub from Pit Boss. I'm going to sprinkle from up high, higher than what y'all can see, but we want to get this everywhere, all over. This is a big bird. Do not be afraid to season this thing, y'all. Again, our brine is going to instill a lot of flavor, but as I said, this thing still needs some seasoning, and get it wherever you can. All right. Next, I'm coming with the smoked salt and pepper. Now, we're going to go a little easier on this, y'all, because again, we did do a 24-hour brine. Don't want this thing to be too salty, but this is going to give us good smoke flavor, nice pepper, and of course, that salt is going to enhance everything that we've already done. Again, not too heavy on this, y'all, because again, that brine is salty. That's the whole point of it. All right. So we're going to flip this over, do the other side. That was easier than I could have planned. I don't think that could have gone any better. So again, back on this side with the rub. Make sure you hit all these little folds and pockets. Don't miss anything. Want all the skin to be seasoned. Pull those wings back. Get the tips. Trust me, somebody's going to want to gnaw on that. You don't want them gnawing on a bland wing tip. That's no fun. So this breast part here, it slopes down, curves down. It can be a little hard to do. The trick I use, let me see if I can spin this around so y'all can see it a little better. But I hold my hand here, and that way, because that seasoning tends to bounce off, but it'll kind of just like bounce back onto it. It's like a little reflector, deflector type situation. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but I think y'all get what I'm saying. And any other areas you have like that, man, use those hands. That's what we got. Use it. So the outside of this wing, I'm going to pull it over so I'm not spilling seasoning all over the place. And since I got that wing, I'll do my smoked salt and pepper on this side. And down there. All right, and then we'll go over the rest with the smoked salt and pepper. And again, y'all, we're not going to go super heavy with this. So we don't want it super salty, but we want it nice and seasoned well. All right, y'all, we're seasoned up. I'm going to let this sit. We're going to go start the fire in the Champion barrel. All right, so I've got my charcoal basket, I'd say about a third way full. I'm going to start there. I don't want to overload it because we don't need a ton of heat, and this won't take forever to cook. But I'm using tumbleweed fire starters, and I found this little cage at the grocery store, and it's just a steel cage, and you put 2 fire starters in there, and it really helps you to keep airflow. And you can really dig that in, put some charcoal around it, and get your fire started that way. I prefer the tumbleweed fire starters, and I highly discourage lighter fluid in any instance. So yeah, I've got both of my tumbleweeds going there. And I'm also going to be adding in some of these apple blend pellets from Pit Boss. I'm just going to sprinkle these in by hand, man. Almost like seasoning the fire. This is going to give us nice smoke flavor. So we're going to let this get going. And once it's ready, we'll close everything up and get ready to cook. Our fire has calmed all the way down. We're going to close this up and get our barrel up to temperature. We'll get ready to cook. And also, y'all, a quick point. The reason I only put this much fuel in, this is so easy to add fuel just by opening and closing this drawer. I would rather have to add more and not waste fuel and not have to fight a big raging fire. I think it's better to start easy and bring your way up. That's what works best for me. And I think if you try that, it'll probably work pretty good for you too. We'll close this up, get this thing nice and ready to go. All right, so I got my vent cracked here. I've got it equally open on the other side because there are 2 vent stacks there. And I've got my main chimney right in the middle. I'm aiming for a temperature between 300 and 325. I don't want a rubbery turkey. So I want some heat to get that skin where it's supposed to be. Right now, we're not even registering, but that's to be expected because we just closed it up. So we'll let it get up to temp and we'll get that turkey on. All right, the Champion is up to temp. Let's get this bird on. All right, y'all. So I made some adjustments to the vents as this thing was coming up to temp. So I started getting a good amount of wind, and it took a little bit more to get it up to, but you know, you're going to have to make adjustments with this or, Well, yeah. Let's get this on here properly. As you can see, I didn't have my rack in here correctly. All right. Let's get some hot gloves and get this right. All right, let's try that again. I got my Pit Boss heat resistant gloves. Let's get this sprayed on here the way it's supposed to be. So, you know what? These types of things happen, and I always do my best to include my mishaps in my videos because, for one, I'm not perfect. And no one is. And you know what? We're all going to have mishaps from time to time. That's part of the game. It's about bouncing back, man. So let's try this again. But as I was saying before I almost dropped this turkey down into the pits of the fire, you will have to make adjustments to your grates. That's just part of the game. It's to be expected. But once you get it dialed in, you'll be in business. And so, I saved this turkey neck. I originally was going to toss this, but I'm going to smoke this because I'm going to make some gravy. So that will come off, of course, much sooner than this turkey will. But I'm going to use that to flavor my gravy. So yeah, this is going down, y'all. And at this point, this is going to stay down. We're just going to monitor our fire and make sure nothing gets away from us. All right, so we're cooking along already. Here it's sizzling. I'm going to leave this bone side down until we get to about 120, 125 degrees. And I'm going to turn it over and let that heat work on that skin. I don't want the skin to be super rubbery. I want it to crisp up a bit, get nice and golden brown. So for now, we're just going to let the Champion do what it does. Give us a nice, consistent, and even fire. This thing is going to cook extremely well. I already know it. I've done a lot of work on the Champion, and I have full confidence that it's going to cook this turkey like a dream. So I'm going to go inside and make some sides while this turkey is doing what it's doing. I'll see y'all in a little while. I'm excited, man. We're about an hour in, and I just want to show you. This thing is running right where I want it, right around 325. And it's been running that way, running steady for quite a while. You hear the juices dripping and sizzling, but I got it dialed in and it's doing what I wanted to do. It's one thing I really like about this Champion barrel smoker. Once you get it dialed in, man, you can just sit back and let it do its thing. We're not going to check it yet because I know it's not close to being done. And I don't want to interrupt the cooking process because, looking ain't cooking. So I'll probably check it again in about another 30 minutes. And then we'll take a temp and see where we're at. All right, we're an hour and a half in. I'm going to open this thing up and take a look here. All right. I like what I'm seeing. Let's take a temp. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is coming along nicely. So yeah, it's about time for me to flip this over. So I'm actually about 120, which is a little higher than I had anticipated, but it's cool. The wingtips and the ends of the drums are as dark as I want them to be. So I'm just going to wrap these up with some foil to prevent them from getting too dark. And I'm going to take my neck off of there. Again, I'm using that for gravy. All right, so I'm going to use my heat-resistant gloves. We're going to flip this bird over because, again, I do want some crisp on this skin. And it's crisping up a bit, which I'm surprised, but, this is kind of operating like an oven. This lid, heat kind of circulates around. But I want a little more direct heat action going on. So Get this old bird flipped. Underside is looking good. Not burnt or overdone. Yeah, I like the progress we're making here. Fix up that foil. Come on, you. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna close it back down. I'm gonna check this in 20 minutes just for the sake of making sure we're not overdoing the skin, getting it too dark or anything like that. If we need to flip it back over, we can, because we got quite a bit of room, wiggle room here on this back side. All right, it's been about half an hour. We're still cooking strong. And y'all, I have not added any charcoal or anything. This champion is getting it done, man. So I'm going in the deepest part of the breast. We're at 155. I'm going to check this side. 155 as well. So I'm going to just check these thighs and legs. Yeah, 167. Check this leg here. 170. Gonna check this thigh. Yeah, we're done, y'all. We'll flip this over and take a good look at it. I'm not gonna take the breast beyond 155 because this is gonna continue to climb in temperature. And I don't want to dry it out. So again, I got my heat resistant gloves. Let's see if I can get this flipped in one piece. Oh boy. I hope y'all saw that. The juice running out of this thing is crazy. It was like a geyser. Oh yeah. Let's get up close on this thing, man. I am happy, happy, happy with the color. Skin looks great. And again, we tempt it so we know it's done. We're going to pull it off of here, let it rest. We're going to slice it up and dig into this thing, man. Champion did his damn thing, man. I am really happy with the way this turkey turned out. The color on it is beautiful. I can smell the smoke. I mean, I can't wait to get into this thing. My cook time was actually right about 2 hours, almost 2 hours on the head. And I've let this rest for about 35 minutes. So let's carve it up, see what all our handiwork is done. I am confident it is going to be supremely delicious. Let's check it out. All right, we're going to separate it where it naturally wants to go. So we're going to take this whole leg quarter off. And we're really just cutting through the skin. And that just wants to come off on its own. That thing looks great. We'll get the other one off. And again, you just follow that seam of skin. Beautiful. Look at that beautiful thing. I mean, that's a thing of beauty, if I must say so myself. But to me, the real test is the white meat. So I'm going to get these wings off of here. And I'm going to carve up the breast. Whenever I do any type of poultry, I always gauge the white meat to let me know how I did. Because if I can keep the white meat juicy, I know the rest is good to go. Again, the wings look beautiful. Someone's going to be happy with these big old turkey wings. These wings are really nice looking. They didn't burn up on me. So again, y'all, use that tip with the foil. Save yourself some headache on burnt up wing tips and such. So we spatchcock this. So this is going to be easy to cut through and easy to separate. So when you come into this hard part here, I get the tip of my knife and I plunge it straight down and then I rock through. You might have to come up further and do that. One more time and then you're through. So we'll set this to the side. I'm gonna get this breast meat off the bone. So we're just gonna follow the bone. Got a nice smoke ring going on this. And I can already tell just by touching it how juicy that is. Not a ton of juice on the board, which is a great thing. So that lets me know the juice is in the bird. That's what happens when you rest. You're gonna get some juice, but if I cut this when it was fresh off of that smoker and cut into it, juice would run all over the place and this bird would be like sawdust. So we're gonna get some slices here. Yeah, we got a crunchy little piece of skin there. I'm looking forward to this. Oh, that's good. So let's get ready to try this. Can't wait, can't wait. All right. Got our slice of turkey breast. Look at that wiggle. It is super juicy. It's time to taste it. Oh, wow. That is so juicy. Oh, man. All the flavor of that brine is coming through. I taste all the rubs. It's smoky. It's not over smoked. That's a fine turkey. That is really good.